Holy shit. After such a long time, Valve is making video games again. Half-Life 3 when? When will the internet break?
Well, I mean, the only way that it would break even worse is if it was Half-Life 3 plus Kim Kardashian. Fuck, do you remember that when Kim Kardashian's ass broke the internet?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Also, on today's episode, the next Neptunia game was revealed and is not being made by Compile Heart or Idea Factory of Japan.
It's also not a fighting game, spoiler alert, so I couldn't give a fuck.
Also, Final Fantasy VII is getting the remake progress report and a job listing. All that and more on the Game Corner. So let's get into story time. So, how was that $100 fucking dinner with your grandparent and your father yesterday?
So I don't know if you know this, but I don't like to be around people. Like, this is gonna make me sound like some kind of fucking basement-dwelling weirdo, but I don't like to leave my house unless I have a reason to, and unless it's, like, not super busy out. So anyway, I waited for my dad to come, because he was later than he said he was going to be. And my grandfather had to crash at my place too. So I was hosting both of them. Anyway, so my dad comes in late, and it's like 7 o'clock, and we went to this kind of nice sit-down restaurant that's like middle of the road. And, man, I've never seen so many fucking people in a restaurant before. Like, holy shit, I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
So you have social anxiety?
I think so, yeah. Because, like, I also work for a newspaper, and I find that in small groups, like, I don't like to be around people that much, like, in small groups either, but I can tolerate being around people in small groups if I have to, right? So we had this, like, for the newspaper, for example, we had this volunteer meeting back in, I want to say, like, November? No, it was October or November. And I don't know if you know this, but newspaper offices are fucking tiny. Like, our office in particular, it's like, we have, like, 3 couches and a coffee table, and then we have, like, a couple of desks, because everybody has their own, basically, workstation. I never use mine, because I just work from home, but... So we must have had, like, 50 fucking people crammed into that office, and I swear to God, it reached the point where, when we went to go, like, because the editor-in-chief was like, okay, well... You know, the other staff can field any questions you might have. I just kind of walked over to her and I was like, I have to leave. Like, I'm gonna fucking just have a heart attack.
Yeah, dude, I remember going to a wrestling event last summer. It was a double feature wrestling event. So, like, it was one show and then the next show was supposed to start, like, right after. And it was the first time my brother had a fucking thing. And, we ended up not staying for the second show, so I had to get my money back for the tickets.
I mean, at least they gave you your money back, though, right? Like,
yeah, but I mean, the guy was kind of like dicking me around in PayPal, so I actually had to stick PayPal on his ass.
Okay.
Which I kind of felt bad for, but like.
But I mean, like, if he's gonna be a cunt, and if that's the reason, like, it's not like you paid for the tickets and you're just like, man, this wrestling event sucks. Like, I'm gonna leave. It's like, yeah, well, my brother had, like, an anxiety attack in the middle of this event. Like, we had to go home.
Right, yeah, you know.
It's like, you don't want to force him to be there, yeah?
Right, like, and it was during the summer, so it was fucking hot. It was the first...
Oh, man, that sucks.
It was the 1st of July, and, like, literally, my mom even got to miss, like, the first show, because he just, like, after the first match, like, started having fucking... His heart started racing, he was fucking pouring sweat and stuff, so she ended up having to sit outside the whole fucking first show, because I'm like, look, I said, we're already here, I'm at least staying for one of these fucking shows.
Yeah.
You know, and because it already started when he had that freaking attack, so I'm like, we're staying for the first show at least, and we left after the first one was over. And my mom had to go to the bathroom at one point, so I actually ended up missing one of the matches myself, which because I had to stand outside with him, which kind of sucked. But yeah, I definitely know where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, like for me, I find I don't really sweat. I just feel really tense, and like my heart starts racing, and it's like, if it's really bad, it's like I have to leave. Like I can't be around this many people.
Yeah, so now he doesn't go because he's afraid that's going to happen to him again,
Sucks.
even though now he's taking medication for it.
Yeah, like I'm not necessarily against medication, but I found that when I've been on it, it hasn't helped with most of the other problems that I've had. So I'm just kind of averse, like, I'm against it in the sense that I've tried other stuff and it hasn't really worked, so why would this work, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's just unnecessary hassle.
Yeah, I understand where you come from.
Plus, I think it's mostly, like, because for some people it's brain chemistry, and for some people it's, like, for some people it's brain chemistry, and for some people it's more personality. And I feel like I can't really speak to myself, but because I'm not really a doctor or a therapist, but I'm pretty sure that for me it's mostly personality, because I always had, like, I never liked to be around people growing up, but I was always able to be in crowded places growing up.
Right, yeah, he was the same way. Like, it literally didn't start bothering him until last year, last July.
Yeah, for me it was last fall. Like, that's the first time I've ever really felt it. But, yeah, so anyway, my dad, my grandfather, and I went out for this meal, and, you know, I footed the bill, because I was like, yeah, I can pay for this, like, fuck, I'll treat you guys to a meal. And then, so this is the bulk of my story time, so I smoke cigars, because I kind of like the taste, I like the stress relief, like, I know smoking's bad for you, but, you know, I've been doing it for about a year now. I'm smoking cigars specifically for about 3 months now.
But at the same time, he likes sucking on the end of a big brown dick.
Oh yeah, girl. Well, it's better than it's better than cigarettes where they're tiny white dicks. But so anyway, I had my dad, because like the only place that sells the cigars that I like is like there's a place across the river, because our city is kind of like, I live in the capital of this province of Canada. And our capital city is divided by a river. So, like, the north half of the city is, like, kind of like the shittier part of the city. And then the south side, which is where I live, is, like, the university is here. Like, the province's, like, government buildings are all here. Like, all the small businesses are here. The mall is here. Like, all sorts of shit. So, anyway, I walk into the smoke shop. And it's the first time that I've ever been in there. And they're the only place that carries the cigars that I like.
Right.
So I walk in, and I walk up to the counter, and I hand the guy my ID. And I'm like, hey, buddy, you don't carry whatever the brand is, Cafe Cremes. Like, and he's like, no, anything flavored has been outlawed in this province for about 2 years now. And, like, I gotta be honest, this guy... I don't want to sound like a prick, but he looked like a toad. Like, and he was so flamboyantly gay that, you know how, like, a derogatory term is, like, flaming? He
Flaming
couldn't have been
homo.
more flaming if he was actually on fire.
Out here we call it flaming homo.
Yeah. Well, no, he couldn't have been more of a flamer if he was actually on fire. But anyway, so he's like... Yeah, anything flavored has been banned in this province for 2 years now. And I'm like, well, that's funny, because I literally just had a pack 2 months ago. Like, I come from whatever my hometown is. It's like, I come from this particular city, their smoke shop sells them. Right?
Right.
And he's like, well, what was the brand? And I was like, they're not flavored. Because if they were flavored, they wouldn't be able to sell them. And he's like, well, what brand are they? And I was like, I just told you they're whatever. So anyway, he doesn't even look. He's just like, no, we don't carry them.
Sounds like a douchebag.
Yeah, oh, he was a prick. So anyway, then I go to leave, because I'm going to, like, my dad knows cigars better than I do. So I was like, oh, I'll just go see what Dad has to say about this. And, so I go to leave, but the way their building is structured is there's, like, an entranceway door on the left, and there's an exit door on the right. but they're separated into two sets of double doors with like a humidor, like a cigar case in between them.
Right.
So I go to step out the entrance door, and all I hear is this motherfucker from the counter call back to me. It's 2 steps to the left, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I was like, really? Like, do you really think that I can't see that the store says entrance? I mean, technically I couldn't when I approached it, so he's right. And, you know, in hindsight, it's pretty funny.
No, he literally just said that to be a fucking jerk off, though.
Oh, but he just said it to be a jack off, like, to be an asshole.
Yeah.
And, so anyway, yeah, I bought my smokes or whatever. That was good.
So how did you manage to get him if the guy was being an asshat?
Oh, I didn't get those. I got something else.
Oh, okay.
Like, I went out to the car with my... I went out to my dad's car. Like, he rented a car when he was home. And I was like, yeah, they said they don't carry them. The guy was an asshole. Here's what he said. My dad... And I was like... And he's like, well, why don't you go in and get something else? Like, what, do they carry this brand? And I was like, I don't really know. Like, can you come in with me? Because I don't know what to get. So anyway, my dad comes in, and he's looking at the humidor with me. And, he's like, these are good, these are good, these are good, whatever. So anyway, he pointed out something. Man, it's $50 for a pack of 20.
Out
And
here,
they're
it's
not
like
even, like,
5
big
for 2.
Huh?
So out here, it's like
What?
$5 for 2.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I ended up spending like $46 on, I think the brand is like Cohiba's cigarillos. And I gotta admit, they're not as good as what I normally smoke, but they're okay.
Are they the
And they
size?
last.
Are they the
What?
size of a regular cigar?
No, they're tiny.
So they're like cigarettes, sort of
They're
like.
kind of the same size as they're about the same size as a cigarette, but they're kind of longer.
Okay,
They're
I know.
longer and thinner.
I know exactly what they are because my mom used to smoke them for like 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, so it was funny though, because when I was leaving, my dad was like, never go to the gay guy at the cigar shop. He's like, he probably doesn't know what a cigarette is. There's only one thing that he's going to put in his mouth. And I was like, oh my God, Dad.
Just thinking the same thing.
I was like, come on.
And let me just point out that Cypher's story has no reflection of what we think of gay people.
Oh, fuck no. No, one of my roommates is gay. I love him to death. But, like, basically, this one guy was an asshole who just happened to be gay. Like, I'm not making fun of him for that. So there's the obligatory disclaimer.
So basically, I told you that I didn't go to the party last night. Kind of a good thing, I guess. I didn't go.
Mm-hmm.
I heard just about everybody canceled. So only fucking 5 out of the 20 people that were invited actually showed up. I woke up yesterday. I wasn't feeling good. My stomach was bothering me. And that eventually went away. And then my brother was supposed to be back from the Monster Mania Horror Convention he went to yesterday. He ended up not getting back until like 9 o'clock. And he left his kid home because obviously he's not going to take his kid to a horror convention. 6-year-old kid, not a good idea. He was supposed to be back by like 5:30 so that we could all go.
Yeah.
And he didn't get home till like 9 o'clock.
Oh, that sucks.
The party ended at 9 o'clock. But then I heard that my cousin's mom, it was his first birthday yesterday, by the way, she only got 2 pizzas, one order of mozzarella sticks, and 1 order of chicken wings that was supposed to feed about 25 people.
Good luck with that.
That's what I was saying. Like, dude, everybody would be splitting crumbs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jesus Christ, what is this, World War II? Like, are you gonna start fucking rationing it out? Like, here, you get, 1 small triangle off of this piece of pizza.
And then, I mean, like I said, only 8 people in total were there out of, 30. But still, even for 8 people, 2
That's still not a lot. Yeah.
2 pizza pies, a small order of mozzarella sticks, and an order of chicken wings. That's 2 slices of pizza per person. Probably one mozzarella stick per person if you're lucky. And maybe 1 chicken wing per person.
Yeah.
So, I heard there was like soda and stuff, which is, standard snack
okay.
shit.
Standard fare.
But,
yeah, it's like fucking Oliver Twist. Like, please, I want some more.
Yeah, right?
Like, Jesus Christ.
So, on the way home, my brother stopped and picked up pizza because I'm like, obviously he knew I didn't go. And I told him, I'm like, well, it's a good thing I didn't go because I still would be buying dinner anyway. So we got, he came home with pizza. And we had pizza last night. Bottle of root beer. It was all good. And that was right after Chceck fucking, like, chewed me out for, like, no reason.
Yeah.
But, we're not going to get into that because we already talked about that plenty.
I don't want to talk about that right now.
But there is one more thing I do want to talk about. And I wanted to mention this on part 2, but I didn't. So, like, I had a dream the other night about the fucking Smash Bros. Switch reveal.
Sean is one of the characters.
So, our Sakudachi characters, right? Like, my character and Sean's character were in the reveal trailer.
Oh my god.
So, like, he was running, he's running around, he's fucking fighting one of the Smash characters, right? So, he eliminates the freaking character he's fighting. And then he did, like, that slow turnaround that was, like, in the actual trailer.
Yeah.
And then it just pans out to my character, like, fucking, like, holding up the fucking spirit bomb. Like, fucking Goku doing the spirit bomb.
Dude.
Only it was the fiery fucking Smash logo. That was the size of a spirit bomb.
That's fucking awesome.
And then he goes to attack my character, right? His character goes to attack my character. And then as he's, like, leaping in the air to attack my character, I just throw the fucking Smash bomb at him. And the reveal trailer in my dream ended with just a massive fucking explosion.
Stay tuned for Sakudachi Brawl, Sakudachi fighting game in 2023. Oh, fuck, I think I just gave Chceck an idea. I mean, fuck. You know what? I will play the shit out of it, because I'm a fucking horrible whore for fighting games.
Not to mention that if that happened, you would be in it.
Well, the thing is, the joke needs to be that I'm the announcer, and I'm really I'm pretty monotone, from what I know. So, it would just be like, round 1, fight, I guess.
Fight, I guess. Round 1, whatever.
Your combos are okay, I guess.
Then, like, at the end of it, be like, game! The winner is... who gives a shit?
It was me. No, the winner is me.
Oh, man. So that was my yesterday. I ended up watching my nephew for like 13 hours. He was really good, though. Like, compared to him, his attitude the rest of the week was really good yesterday, so...
Well, that's good.
That's a good thing. He didn't give me any shit. So with that being said, let's get into this news. So let's do the Mario Day thing first.
Okay.
Like I said, I only want to cover like the first half of it, like about the Google Maps thing, because I think this is pretty cool.
Yeah, so to celebrate Mario Day on March 10th, Nintendo arranged a collaboration with Google Maps so that people looking at maps on GPS could see Mario in his go-kart instead of the usual blue arrow. It says here, by choosing to go from your current location to your destination and then clicking on the gray question block next to the start button, you can activate Mario mode instead. This function is available until the 17th of March.
So it's cool that they give us a week to freaking play around with that.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's, oh wait, no, that's already out. I'm gonna look at this now.
Like, even if you know where you're going, you should probably just activate it just for giggles.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna look at it, like, literally right now.
And they released, Nintendo of America released a tweet says, "Wahoo! Now you can navigate the world as Mario in Google Maps. To celebrate, hashtag Mario Day. Check out hashtag Mario Maps on Google Maps now for a week." And that was released, the tweet was released on March 9th at 12:20 p.m. Oh, wait, okay, so actually I was wrong about this. Furthermore, announced that Super Mario Run's one-time payment will be at half price starting yesterday until March 25th, 2018. Super Mario Run is available for Android and iOS. I actually wrote a review on that mobile game. For what it was, I thought it was pretty good for what it was. Certainly better than most of the fucking shovelware trash that ends up on on the phones. The game was $10 when I bought it, and it gives you the first 3 levels to play for free. So it'll be $5 US for the next 2 weeks. So if you're interested in a Mario game on your phone, I think it's for $5. I think it's not bad at all for $5.
So for some reason, because I'm trying to access Mario mode myself, it's not actually showing up on Google for me.
Really? Maybe you actually have to like have a destination put in? Like,
no, I put in a destination from like my house to the mall, like to the local mall.
Interesting.
And
did you hit?
Because what's supposed to happen is, like, it'll be like you'll apparently it's like you put it in, you get your fastest route, and you click on the question block.
You've arrived.
Yeah, I'm checking out the video right now.
Allegedly, Google made a statement that said, "We don't encourage throwing bananas or red shells at other drivers in real life." And apparently, because I'm looking at a screenshot on a news website from New Zealand, that basically, when you click on the question block, it says, "Oh yeah, it's Mario time," and that's like, navigate your world as Mario to celebrate Mario Day. So that it's a picture of Mario in like the red Mario Kart. And then your options are no thanks and let's go.
Yeah, I'm looking. There's actually a video on here. It's only 11 seconds long, but I wouldn't be able to incorporate it into the podcast because it's not a YouTube video. So
okay.
But I don't see. Oh, there's the question mark box. Did it show up next to the start button?
I'm not even seeing the start button. That's weird.
And
check this shit.
In this video, it's yellow, not gray.
Yeah, and it's yellow in the screen caps too.
Oh no! Well, here we go. It's gray until you touch it. Yeah, when you tap it, it turns yellow.
Fuck. What? Okay, let me see here. How to use Mario mode.
It's supposed to be the very bottom right, next to the start button, after you put in your destination, and it tells you how long.
Do you have to do it on your phone? Is that?
Yeah, I think it has to be on your phone.
Oh, that's why, because I'm on my laptop right now. My phone's in the living room.
Yeah, you have to be on your phone. Definitely.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
This got a lot less fun.
So yeah, so looking at the video, it makes the coin noise, and then it says, "Let's go." And then when he gets to his destination, he does the fucking Mario, like the fucking Mario Kart fist pump that he does when he wins.
Oh my god, yes.
That's pretty cool, dude.
The only thing that would make it cooler is if, like, Nintendo added a race mode for, like, let's assume you're going on foot, right?
Right. There's people are just legit running around.
Yeah, like, if Nintendo had, like, a race mode where it's, like, the Mario Kart and shit, but then you can be an asshole and blue shell somebody so their phone lags behind.
Oh, God. Speaking of blue shell, last week when I fucking was recording some Mario Kart footage for that Nintendo Switch review, I showed the race that I was winning for like 90% of that race, and I got fucking blue shelled like freaking right near the end of the last lap, and I fucking lost. I'm like, oh god, blue shell, I got nothing to help me.
Oh man, blue shells are the worst.
Me and my dad, we call it the seek and destroy, because that's what it does.
There's no fucking way to carry them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is in Mario Kart 8, but you have to get lucky to actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, don't you have to be like fucking frame perfect if you want to counter it with a shell?
Well, you
can use like a star or something too, but like
there is that. But when you're in first place, all you get are coins and banana peels. But once in a great while, you'll get that horn thing. That if you time it right, you could use that horn thing, and it'll blow up everything in a small radius. And if you time it right, you could blow up that blue shell.
Okay.
But it's very rare that you'll get the item, so chances are you're gonna get hit. But
oh boy.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Mario Day, the way Nintendo's celebrating Mario Day. Now I know we talk about Pokemon Go and how much we don't care for that shit no more. But what if Nintendo collaborated with Niantic to have Mario be the fucking the Pokemon trainer walking around the map in that game. Just for the hell of it.
That'd be a nice way to like get people kind of invested in Pokemon Go again, but like I know personally I don't really give two fucks about it.
I mean, I thought it would just be another, pretty cool way. Like, if anyone's actually still playing it, and they turn their game on, they see Mario walking around instead of their avatar while they're catching Pokemon. And just for the hell of it, they could change the Pokeballs. They could change the Pokeballs to red shells.
That would be pretty good.
For a day.
Congratulations, you've captured a Goomba. You capture a gym in Pokemon Go, and then it's like, we're sorry, but your princess was in another castle.
Oh, God.
Fuck you, Toad, you piece of shit.
Oh, my God, that's funny. So, in other news, Brave Neptunia is the next Neptunia game announced, and is being developed in Quebec, Canada, by Artisan Studios.
So I looked at their website earlier.
So before I was interrupted...
so Brave Neptunia is a thing that exists.
Yeah, Brave Neptunia was announced as Yusha Neptune. Brave Neptunia is going to be a 2D action game in the Neptunia series, developed by a first-time Western company at a Quebec-based studio, Artisan Studios. Platforms were not announced, but Artisan Studios previously featured logos for PS4, Xbox One, Steam, and Switch at the footer of the official website.
Yeah, so like I looked at their website, and it looks like this is the company's website, and it looks like this is the first game they've ever produced.
So I hope they don't screw it up.
Yeah, like, I'd be curious as to, like... Because I'm sure that for them to land this, it's like they must have had some fucking, like, experienced people in their team or something.
I mean, either that or Compile Heart and Idea Factory of Japan just really don't know how to make a platformer.
That's possible. I mean, at this point, give it to fucking Matt Makes Games, who made Celeste or something. He said sarcastically. God, man, if Matt from, like, or those guys from, like, Matt Makes Games, I don't know if you've played Celeste.
No, I haven't, but I've seen it.
That shit is intense. Like, that is the hardest platformer I have ever played.
I think it's labeled as the hardest platformer ever made.
Mario Lost Levels is still pretty fucking hard.
So it says further information will be announced on April 26th in an issue of Dengeki PlayStation magazine. There is an announcement trailer below. It is all in Japanese, so I'm not even going to bother looking at this.
I'm actually scrolling through it now because I want to see the small bit of gameplay.
I mean, it mostly shows like
interviews.
Yeah, mostly shows.
It's entirely interviews.
Well, there's like very little game visuals towards the end of it.
Okay, let me just... shit, there's something wrong with my video player. It's not actually, like, updating the fucking video.
It's an action platformer. I'm hoping it's going to be good, and because I love platform games, I'm immediately moist.
You know, I kind of hope it's in almost the same vein as a... Have you ever played Prinny, Can I Really Be the Hero?
No. That was a PSP game, right?
Yeah, it's fucking good.
Yeah, I never had a PSP.
I kind of hope that it's almost like that, but one thing I didn't know, that you mentioned this to me, that is it confirmed that they're trying every genre for these spin-offs?
I mean, it seems like it, because they've done the idle thing, they've done the hack and slash thing twice, they did the tactical RPG, now they're doing the platformer.
I want fucking Nep the Fighters.
Right?
Like
a Nep...
Or even like Super Nep Bros, for fuck's sake. Super Console Brothers, like, for fuck's sake.
Like, I wouldn't mind. I definitely want to see a Neptunia fighting game. A Neptunia kart racer with, like, chibi characters. I think that'd be pretty interesting.
Oh my god, that'd be adorable.
And one thing, I want to see a fucking Uni shooter. Because she's the gunner of the fucking Neptunia series. I wouldn't mind seeing a third-person shooter with Uni as the main character.
I know. Have you seen footage of SAO Fatal Bullet?
Very little.
Honestly, it would be really cool if they made a uni like third person shooter with that kind of engine and gameplay.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. They could
Because
even
like, I
have.
don't know how much you've seen of it. Like you said, not a lot, but it looks really fluid. Like I don't like SAO that much, so I'm probably not going to buy it for a while.
Like if they wanted to do that, Compile Heart wanted to do that and like outsource their property, like they're doing here, they could have Bamco develop it
Oh fuck, that'd be awesome.
under that thing. So obviously, right now the game has no release date. We're gonna get more information in about a month and a half from now. So as the information comes, we will let you guys know. That being said, got a couple more things here. Let's talk about Days Gone. Now, we don't know much about this game, but we do know it got delayed.
Yeah. So apparently, Days Gone will not be releasing in 2018 as originally planned. Sony has now assigned the open world zombie survival game for a PlayStation 4 release date of 2019. This has been noted by their official website and confirmed by US Gamer. Apparently, the game itself, because I've actually never heard of this, is about a bounty hunter named Deacon riding his motorcycle through the Pacific Northwest and dealing with zombies, as well as other hostile humans. He'll have customizable weapons and skills.
Yeah, they showed it. It was first showed off E3 2016. They showed it again last year at E3. So now that the game got delayed till next year, I'm sure we're going to see it again at E3 this year.
What I'm kind of hoping, because like I'm probably not going to buy this. I couldn't give a shit about zombie or survival games. But I hope that tonally, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Easy Rider.
No, I'm not much of a movie guy.
Neither am I, but I hope that for any of the audience who might have seen it, I hope that the tone is similar to the film Easy Rider. Basically, Easy Rider is like a motorcycle journey across, I think it's the U.S. So it might even be the same locale. I'm gonna Google that.
So from what I've seen of the game, it's there's like fucking hordes of zombies after your character, and like you can choose to fight them off, but chances are you're not gonna survive if you do that.
Mm-hmm.
So like the main tactic is to like run away from them, most of the time. From what I've seen in the footage they showed at the past two E3s.
So it's more of a stealth game.
Sort of like, yeah, definitely. It's more definitely in the survival genre, like, because if you're not like on the run, like constantly moving from these zombies, you're not gonna live. So yeah, I'm kind of interested in this game. It's probably not a game I'll buy, but I'd probably like Redbox it to try it for a night when it comes out. The graphics look kind of gritty. I will say that much.
Yeah, I'm gonna like if they release a demo for it in the next couple of months, I'll definitely give it a try, but I don't think I'm gonna buy it.
The only thing I'm tired of seeing is there's so many games and fucking zombies.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, hasn't that been?
Dude, I was playing XCOM 2 yesterday, like the expansion. The expansion introduces these enemies called the Lost, and they're basically just fucking zombies.
Like, that's been done to death already.
Yeah, it sucks.
So,
I mean, to be fair though, there's only so many things that you can actually like pull from.
yeah, I guess that's true.
You know, I've always kind of wondered, and this is gonna make me sound really pretentious, but like, I've always wondered if like our obsession with zombies in today's society like is a reflection of our society. Like what does that say about our society?
I mean, I don't know if people are hoping for a fucking zombie apocalypse, but I'm certainly not.
Yeah, like anyway. So the last thing we have here.
Oh no,
is
not
kind of big
the
deal.
last
Well,
thing. Not the last thing.
Oh shit! Sorry, yeah, there's two. So which of these main events do you want to cover?
I want to
Both of
go.
these are pretty fucking big.
Yeah, I want to do the Final Fantasy VII one first.
So, apparently, Final Fantasy VII's remake. So they shared a job listing, seeking level planners, which is kind of interesting to me. And basically they stated that here's the stuff. So it says here, it's a major like they gave up some description and stuff too. So it says here that you need to be, let's see here, recruiting core members to the project. Oh no, that's just Square Enix sucking its own dick. As if Sean and I don't do that enough.
Yeah, the highlights include a major project of fully remaking Final Fantasy VII on PS4. We knew that already. Can work in the best development environment. Gain experience in a flat organization. Use your talents to your heart's content. Recruiting core members for the project. Work on a big title for a chance to help your career. Enjoy flexibility with discretionary work system and good benefits.
It says here that as the level planner, you'll organize the workflow of location development, brainstorm level designs, and implement data using Unreal Engine 4. Square Enix also shared the current state of progress for this project. So, it says here that while the programs for general functions and contents are being tested within the development team, the part about reproducing the original work in high-quality graphics and reaching a satisfactory standard, basically they... Wow, this is not well written. It's like, what fucking language is this in? Jesus Christ. Okay, while Final Fantasy VII's remake, programs for general functions and contents are being tested within the development team as required, the part about reproducing the original work in high-quality graphics is reaching a satisfactory standard. And we've come to the conclusion that in order to meet fan expectations, we must increase its quality another step higher. Therefore, in addition to the current members for this game, we must establish a core group that includes level planners, battle planners, designers, engineers, and various types of jobs to tackle the production of such a big title. It says here that Square Enix is currently seeking people with game planning experience for console games, specifically with level design. The required skills are level design, HD environment, and experience with Unreal Engine 4. The company states that it is by no means a request for a pinch hitter, which is, a last-minute replacement, for dealing with work volume. They are currently in the thought process of creating a world for Final Fantasy VII that's been resurrected for the modern era, and hopes that members that can work on various levels within the game and come up with ideas for what they'd like to do with the charming characters. Or hopes to add members that will do that. Finally, they mentioned that for those who aren't familiar with FF7 are welcomed. Since it's been over 20 years since the release of the original, it isn't strange to see developers today, including even current employees at Square, who know of characters such as Cloud and Sephiroth, but have never played FF7. That said, they hope that new recruits have an interest in the game and its themes, and can help create it with new and fresh ideas. Apparently there's been some new designs for characters like Cloud and others that have been seen in the trailers. So it seems like Square Enix has been pretty busy shaping this up. Unfortunately, it said it'll be a while until we can see new screenshots. So it might have to wait until E3 this year for us to see progress ourselves.
I'm sure we're going to see more at E3. So what do you think? Square Enix is looking to hire quite a handful of people, it sounds like. Do you think this could make the game better or worse?
That's a tough question. I think that, you can't please everybody with this. I think that there was a previous announcement a long-ass time ago. I don't know how true it is. But they said that they wanted to basically... how Final Fantasy VII is 3 discs?
Yes.
They wanted to basically split it into 3 games so that people aren't waiting.
So, like, the first disc would be the first episode, the second disc would be the second episode, the third disc would be the third episode. Basically,
yeah. And I gotta be honest, if they're remaking all of Final Fantasy VII, I can understand why that would be 3 full-priced games. Because Final Fantasy VII's fucking packed. There's a lot of shit in Final Fantasy VII.
And since they're doing a remake, they have a chance to make the game even bigger than what it used to be.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I am content paying full price for 3 discs of Final Fantasy VII.
That's a lot, man. I don't think I would go that far.
That's like, well, I mean, if they drop within, a couple of years of each other, I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be true. But, I mean, for US, you're talking like after tax almost $200, whereas for you, you're talking about $250.
No, actually, we're talking about 300 because basically, here's the way the math breaks down. A new PS4 game with our current tax, like a new PS4 game, $79.99, right?
Right.
With tax, $90. So I'm looking at about $300.
Yeah, so that's $270.
Between the 3 games and tax is probably going to go up because I live in a really shitty province, so it's like... yeah, it's probably going to be a lot. Personally, I think that, they can't please everybody, but I think that this bodes well because it shows that they actually care about the quality of their project.
Right.
Like, the last thing that I want to see is Square Enix overworking developers making this game. Because not only will it be bad for the developers, it's going to be bad for the game.
One thing I hope for is, since they mentioned that people are unexperienced with Final Fantasy VII, the original game where they're, taking all this from, I'm hoping they're going to prioritize like people that are actually familiar with the game.
Yeah.
So that it'll actually
like if
turn
you're
out
a level
to be better.
designer, right? Like, I can definitely understand why you would want, why you would need more people. Because, like, Final Fantasy VII, all of its backgrounds are, like, oh my god, I don't know the proper term for it. All the backgrounds are, like, fixed, right? The backgrounds don't usually move. Where the characters do. So, and it's kind of top-down as well.
Which we know, looking at some of the screenshots on the page here, that doesn't look like it's going to be the case with the remake.
No, the remake is a full remake from the ground up. So it's like, I can definitely see why they'd have to basically go like, here's like the famous scene from FF7 is like the opening, right, with the train and like the Mako reactor where you plant the bomb. So it's like, I can definitely see why they would need to hire somebody not just to redo all of that graphically, but to make sure that the layout is good. And, like, that's not even one of the more complex areas in Final Fantasy VII. Like, that's pretty normal.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that, whoever they hire, I hope, they do a good job. I mean, like I said, I'd rather have them prioritize people that actually know more about the game and actually are experienced in it, so they would actually, like, they could probably give out better ideas than someone that's not experienced in said game.
Yeah, like, sometimes having people who aren't experienced in stuff will lead to fresher ideas. But I also think that people expect so much out of this remake of Final Fantasy VII, myself included. 9 is my favorite Final Fantasy. I think Sean and I went through this on the podcast or on one of your streams once.
I think it was part 1.
What?
I think it was part 1.
Fuck, it might have been. But, like, 9 is my favorite Final Fantasy. And I'm kind of pissed off that, like, 7's the one that gets the remake, but it makes sense because of cultural significance. But it's like, I also have pretty fucking high hopes for Final Fantasy VII's remake.
No, I think everybody does, especially the hardcore fan base, man. Can you imagine the internet will fucking explode if people turn out to not like this remake?
I just hope that they don't fuck the script. Like, fuck the writing. Because, apparently, like, I don't know if you've played Dissidia. I don't know if you've seen Advent Children, like the sequel movie.
No, but last I checked, it was on Netflix, and I did consider watching it at least once.
It's not. It is on Netflix. At least in Canada it is. But they make Cloud a lot more brooding, which he's not. In either language. Like, in Japanese, he's not really he's kind of a more carefree protagonist, and like in English he is too, because he, part of it's the translation, but some of the lines they gave him were like that end scene where you go into the fucking northern crater for the final battle, and he just says like, "Let's mosey." Let's mosey. That's fucking great. Or one of my personal favorite scenes in FF7, and it's totally optional, is you do the flashback for Nibelheim right after you get out of Midgar. And if you go into Tifa's house, Tifa asks, like, Cloud, did you go into my room? And he's like, you can say yes.
You brought this up once before, actually.
Yeah, you can say yes. But then I'm pretty sure that what happens is you can go through her drawers. And she's like, did you go through my underwear? And you can say yes. I'm almost certain that's a thing that happens. Like, I haven't touched FF7 in about a year now. But, man, I hope they keep shit like that. Like, not that kind of stuff, but, like, I hope they keep the personality of Final Fantasy VII and don't, like, water it down to be, like, oh, Cloud is just this fucking emo guy, and oh, Sephiroth that just has a really bad Oedipus complex. Like, I hope they actually keep the more complex shit that makes Final Fantasy VII great.
Now, speaking of watering the game down, in the current generation that we're in with all these fucking feminazis and these SJW cocksuckers, do you think they're going to completely change the whole cross-dressing part of the game?
I don't know, because I know that, like, Japan views that differently than we do.
Right.
And they have for a really long time. So to Western sensibilities, it's like, I'm not sure if Square will change it, but if they don't change it, then there might be some uproar.
I was just gonna say, if they you know, bring that back into the remake, do you think people are gonna fucking bitch and cry about it and demand that it gets patched out?
Possible. Well, honestly, I think the thing people would bitch about more is like that's pretty big. But there's a lot of stuff in those early parts of FF7 that, like, today you couldn't get away with. Like
Eris died in that game, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. But, like, let me I'll walk you through some of the shit, right? So, like, the whole reason Cloud cross-dresses is to go save Tifa.
Right.
And, like, I get the kind of the point of that scene is that she doesn't need saving because she can just kick ass herself, which is great. So, like, but I bet you people don't see that. Like, people won't understand that because people don't usually think about these things when they bitch and moan about them. So they'll just be like, he's training her like a damsel in distress. Oh my god. It's like, did you play through the fucking scene where she quite literally threatens to bash the dude's balls in? Like, and is like, I don't fucking need saving, you little bitch. Like, holy hell. And, like, so, like, that's a thing. Like, Eris being kind of a damsel in distress most of the time, that's probably going to be a thing people are going to bitch about to some small extent. Like, there's also a couple of scenes in that are a little bit, I don't want to say, like, offensive, but they could be. Like, it's heavily implied that Cloud is raped at one point. Like, when you're doing the cross-dressing stuff, you go into the bath in the Honeybee Inn, right? And I've always read that scene. Now, I might just be blowing smoke out my own ass, but I've always read that scene as it's implying that he is getting uncomfortably close to all these burly, sweaty gay men. Because it reads like that, right? Like, it would be like, you know, Earthbound, and how, like, the ending of the final boss of Earthbound says some shit that comes across, like, allegedly what happened with Earthbound is that Itoi snuck into a movie when he was a kid, and there was a rape scene in the film.
Yeah, and it, like, fucked
him up. And he replicated the dialogue because it fucked him up for a while.
Yeah. Yep, I remember that.
And that's why Gaiga says, like, oh, it hurts. And shit like that. And, like, moans and whatever else. So, like, stuff like that we couldn't get away with today.
No, absolutely not.
But I also think people need to understand the point of that, like, what the point of these scenes are. Like, for Gygas, it's like, Gygas is supposed to be fucking disturbing. Right? Like, for Earthbound. Like, if they made an Earthbound remake, which I hope they do someday, because Earthbound's fucking great. It doesn't hold up, but it's great.
Right.
Like, the whole point of that scene is Gygas is disturbing. Like, he looks like a fetus, and there's the phrase, you can't grasp the form of Gygas' attack. Like, Gygas is like Cthulhu. So for him to be disturbing makes sense. Now, going back to Final Fantasy VII, because I had this bad habit of I'm a little bit drunk right now.
No surprise.
More than usual. I had a lot to drink this morning, and I just had one before we recorded. But for Final Fantasy VII, it's like the point of that Tifa rescue scene is that Cloud humiliates himself. Well, not humiliates himself, but like.
I mean, I would definitely consider it embarrassing.
Yeah, Cloud kind of embarrasses himself. Like, Iris kind of makes fun of him for it when he comes out in the dress and stuff, which, whatever, I don't care. But the whole point of that scene is, like, he goes through all this shit that, like, most men wouldn't do.
I certainly wouldn't.
I certainly wouldn't. Like, I'm a pretty guy, but I wouldn't fucking do it. So he does all this shit that, like, most men wouldn't do. And then it turns out to be completely pointless because guess what? Tifa is a fucking strong biatch. She will crush your nuts between her thighs.
But we know someone who would do it, though, right? Chceck.
Probably.
Damn, sorry, I had to clear my throat.
Yeah, so it's like that. Or like, you know, it's confirmation bias. So, like, I think people will bitch and moan about it, but I don't really know. I just hope they can, you know, keep the quality up. Like, I don't care what controversy surrounds it. I don't care if people try to get it banned in the West. Like, remember Dead or Alive Extreme?
Extreme 3.
Yeah, they banned that fucking thing in the West, because, like, people were all up in arms about it.
Like, we haven't seen fucking virtual girls in bikinis swimming and playing volleyball before, because we did get the first 2 Dead or Alive Extreme games. And then those same fucking people bitched at fucking Hirata during the development of Tekken 7 for depicting girls in bikinis in that game too. And he basically told them to go fuck off.
My big moment for that, like, I play a lot of fighters, but mine was always Dragon's Crown, is the example that I went to.
Right, we mentioned this, you know,
we mentioned this in a previous part, but I might as well repeat the TLDR version is, the guy who made Dragon's Crown made it as, like, an homage to old school fantasy stories. People got really pissed off because all the female characters in that game are scantily clad. Like the sorceress has, like, really nice legs and huge titties.
Her titties will probably crush your head.
Her boobs are huge. Like, the Amazon has, like, really thick thighs, she's really muscular, and she's wearing, like, nothing.
She thick.
She's thick. You need, like, a fucking K and a Q in there. just to quantify how thick she is.
Oh, man.
But, like, yeah, so the Amazon was really, like, thick. And people were up in arms about that, but when they approached him about this, and were like, are you ashamed that you did this? He's just like, no, because it's an homage to fantasy stories, and I wanted to make good art, and I think this is nice art. Like, you might think it's perverse, but I think that, you know, it's genuine and it's true to what it is, and you can fuck off if you don't like it.
Exactly, because, you know, porn is art in a way.
Porn used to be art. Now porn is, like...
gross.
Brutality.
But to not stray too far off from this remake of FF7, when they remake the Eris death scene, do you think it'll be just as heart-wrenching
Fuck no.
than it was in the original, or do you think they'll make it, like... Do you think they'll do something to the point where it would be just as heart-wrenching as it was 20 years ago?
I think they can definitely try, but I don't know if they'll succeed.
Especially because the hardcore fans already know it's coming.
Yeah, like, anyone who... The reason we're talking about this with such reckless abandon is because almost anyone who's heard of Final Fantasy VII within the last 20 years has probably heard of this scene. Like, they probably at least know, like, she dies.
You could find it all over fucking YouTube, for Christ's sake.
It's all over YouTube. Like... Anyway, my thing is, like... I think they can, but I think they have to do some serious shit. Like, Sephiroth coming down and, like, stabbing her through the fucking abdomen, that's pretty rad. Like, it's a pretty good scene, especially with, like, you've been with this character for almost the whole game. She's really endearing. You fight the boss or whatever, like, shit happens, and then she sits down to pray to save the world or whatever, and then Sephiroth literally comes through the ceiling and stabs her through the fucking stomach.
I just hope that scene, because it's a pivotal part in the game, they have to keep that. I just hope nobody gets up in arms about that, because, for fuck's sakes, it's a pivotal part of the game. They have to keep that. They just have to.
What if, right?
Right.
I've been kind of thinking about this. You know how, like, immediately after she dies, because I'm sure most people have seen the entire scene, so spoiler alert if you haven't seen the whole scene. But, like, so Sephiroth has Cloud give him the black materia to summon Meteor to destroy the world, right?
Right.
And, like, he basically brainwashes him so he can't do it. So he has to do it. Like, he can't resist. Now, what if instead of Sephiroth jumping down from the fucking ceiling and killing Aerith then and there, instead, Cloud just fucking whips out his sword and just butchers her? Like, I think that would be, like, the most what the actual fuck just, like, moment.
Or what if you think Square might want to play it safe with that scene, and they rewrite it so she doesn't actually die?
I really hope they don't.
I hope they don't either, because I think that would piss people off.
That would piss me off. Well, I mean, Square, to my knowledge, is no stranger to character death, but more often than not, they in the past couple of games, right, they haven't killed off characters until the ending, which is kind of shitty. Like, FF10, for example, like, all those playable characters survive until the end. Same with,
I haven't finished 10. I have to rebuy that, so I can actually play it again.
I don't want to spoil the ending to 10, because the ending's really good. But, like, nobody in your party rotates out once they join your party. The only exceptions to this are Auron, who joins you for, like, the tutorial part of the game, and Riku, who joins you for, like, the next part immediately after that.
Yeah, that much I remember, because I...
And, like, there are some parts where, like, Yuna's unavailable, this character's unavailable, but, like, for the most part, once they're in your party, like, they don't leave your party permanently.
Right.
Final Fantasy 13 did it really shittily, where, you know, but all those characters are characters that join your party for good. Same with 13 too. I haven't played 14, but it's in 15. It's the same thing. Like, Gladio goes off and he does his thing, and then it's just the three of you. But then he comes back, and, like, nobody actually leaves the party forever.
Right.
So I don't know if they'll be doing it or not, but I honestly think that it's too dangerous for them to rewrite that scene.
Right. I mean, I just hope, like, the game is good, and I'm definitely going to play it when it comes out. Cause
don't get me wrong, I'd like to see them recut it, because I do think, like, I'm picturing what you see is, like, she gets down to pray, and then it cuts to the flowers, and then there's just a blood splatter, and then it hard cuts to, like, Cloud standing over her with, like, the sword.
Because, well, in the original game, you actually see her get fucking stabbed.
You actually see the fucking sword go through her chest.
Yeah, so I think if they edit that out, I don't think people would be so up in arms. But you're still going to know it happened and she's dead.
Yeah. Like, I think there's a bunch of different ways to kind of get around the quote-unquote violence of the issue, because, like, some people would probably be up in arms about that. But, like, and do it in, like, a really tasteful, poignant way. Right. That is also, like, what the actual fuck just happened. And, like, twist it on its head.
That's what I said, man. Like, maybe they'll play it safe or something.
But I really hope that they don't keep that character alive. Like, I like Aerith's. I really do. I don't think she's the best female character in 7, because Tifa's fucking great. Shit, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so, like, Aerith. Aerith is great, but Tifa's better. And yet, if they kept her alive, it would kind of ruin the scene. Because the whole point of that scene is, like, you don't expect that to happen.
I mean,
and if I'm remembering that correctly, they try, like, Phoenix Down. Doesn't work.
Right.
They try, like, an Elixir. Doesn't work.
And once she's dead, like, she's not playable anymore, right? She's done.
Yeah, because she's fucking dead.
Although there are hacks, you know, that people that really love the character, while the scene is still intact in the game, make her playable anyway.
I think the most I'd be interested in is if they I don't want to say like they give you an option to keep her alive, although that would be nice to some extent, where it's like you need to do a very specific set of actions in order for her to be alive.
Right.
Oh man, that'd actually be a really... I just thought of a really good idea for this, but basically, right, what I'm thinking is, you know how, like, they have the affection values for, like, Gold Saucer and shit?
Right.
What if it was, like, you max out Eris's, like, affection values, and then instead of having Sephiroth drop down from the ceiling and murder her, he tries to get Cloud to do it, and Cloud's like, fuck you, no. And then Sephiroth tries to drop down from the ceiling anyway. Cloud fucking, like, parries the sword or whatever, and then there's just a boss fight immediately. And it's like, you can lose this boss fight, right? Like, imagine this. You can lose this boss fight. She still fucking dies if you lose this boss fight. But if you win, she survives. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. Because I think that Square cannot plan for that. Especially if they're making 3 different games for this. But that's what I'd like to see is, like, basically, here's the hidden route that keeps her alive. If they want to keep her alive at all, which personally I would rather they didn't, but some people, like you said, some people really like the character and they really like I really like the scene. So it's like, I don't know. Man, why don't they just kill off characters that we don't like? Like, fucking kill off Kate Sith. He's so fucking useless. I mean, they tried. There's literally a scene in the Temple of the Ancients where it's like he gets crushed or some shit, and then he just comes back because he's a robot. And I was like, come on, man, he fucking sucks. Like, I would have rather he just died.
Well, to not to continue to go off on this game forever, because it sounds like we can. Let's get into our...
Sean was here, imagine.
Let's get into our actual main event. Valve, after a long time, getting back into video games. Now, a subtitle here says, Valve is taking cues from Nintendo as it attempts to get back into game development.
Yeah, it says here that the last game they released was 2013's Defense of the Ancients 2, which my roommate really likes, but I've never tried.
Dota 2. As everyone knows it as Dota 2.
Yeah, it's Dota 2. And during a recent presentation, Gabe Newell promised that Valve will be getting back into the game-making business. The company is working on Artifact, which is a Dota-themed card game along the lines of Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering. As Newell revealed during the presentation, they hope that Artifact will just be the beginning of the company's return to form. So, I mean, they're going to make more than just fucking card games.
I'm going to actually might have to try that.
I liked Hearthstone. I've tried it. It's fun. It says here, Artifact is the first of several games that are going to be coming from us. So that's sort of good news, Newell said. Hooray, Valve is going to start shipping games again. However, it seems like Valve is going to be taking a different approach to developing these future games. While Valve's past games are made for existing systems, the company has spent the last several years developing its own hardware, including Steam Controller, Steam Link, and HTC Vive virtual reality headset. It seems that these new games will go hand in hand with their new hardware. We aren't talking about it today, but sort of the big thing. The new arrow we have in our quiver, really, is our ability to develop hardware and software simultaneously, Newell said. We've always been a little bit jealous of companies like Nintendo. Like when Miyamoto is sitting down and thinking about the next version of Zelda or Mario, he's thinking about what the controller's going to look like, what the graphics and other capabilities are, and how he can introduce new things like motion input because he controls both of those things. And he can make the new hardware look as good as possible because he's designing the software simultaneously so that it takes advantage of said hardware. So that's something we've been jealous of, and that's something that you'll see us taking advantage of subsequently. Apparently, Artifact is slated to launch sometime this year.
So, now the only question left is Half-Life 3 when? Because I think it's gonna... If they're getting back into gaming, they have to do it. Because if they don't do it, people are just gonna get really upset. And I think the internet will fucking implode when Half-Life 3 gets announced.
I honestly don't know how I feel about this. Like, the only Valve game that I've tried and really, really liked, other than, like, I like Portal. Portal's fucking good. Is TF2.
Yeah, I've tried TF2.
Like, I don't think Half-Life has aged really well, and I honestly have never tried Dota because I just don't like MOBAs that much.
I don't like them at all, to be honest.
Yeah, that was the polite way of me saying I don't like MOBAs at all. But like, yeah, so I'm glad that Valve is getting back into making games because I hope that they make more unique stuff. Like, before, most of their games were made in Source, right? So it's like, I'm fairly certain that like all the Half-Life games are made in Source. Portal was made in Source. I don't know about TF2. TF2 was probably made in Source as well, though.
I mean, TF2 doesn't look all that great. It certainly hasn't aged very well in terms of like the graphics and whatnot.
Wait, TF2 or Half-Life?
TF2.
I mean, they went with kind of a cartoony style so that it stayed relevant longer, but it's definitely starting to show that it's a bit rough around the edges. Regardless. So, what I find particularly interesting is that they're going to be taking advantage of their own hardware. Particularly taking inspiration from Nintendo. However, at the same time, I think that might be a problem if, say, you need to go out and you need to fucking buy an HTC like headset, like a VR headset,
to play
some of their games.
Right, because it sounds like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, it sounds like to get the most out of like, let's say they make Team Fortress 3, like Half-Life. Let's say they actually do make Half-Life 3, right?
Right.
That's a first-person shooter. It's like you're gonna, if you need an HTC to get the most out of that, then it feels kind of scummy to me. That it's like, we made this game that everybody wants to play, but you need to have our software to really experience it. Now, that's what I'm hoping, though, is that it's kind of like most PSVR games where it's like, oh, you have the option of playing in VR.
Right. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, with these new games that they're coming out with, do you think this could be a way for them to like repackage the Steam machine and like push it again?
Man, I hope so.
With some new hardware?
I like the concept of a Steam console. Of like a customizable, like... Because here's the thing, right? I have a laptop for work. And if I was going to build a gaming PC, it feels like kind of a waste to me because it's like, well, I'm going to use it for gaming, but when I work, I'm still going to be laying in my bed like a fat shit. Right? Like, what I want is basically, here's a customizable console for Steam that runs, like, most games, say, like, from a certain year onward at least, like, medium settings. And you have the option to customize it with, like, new graphics cards, new GPU, new CPU, whatever you want to put in it.
Right.
That's what I want to see. Like, I don't know how the Steam machine is now, so I can't really speak to that. Maybe I'm already talking about, like, I don't want to be one of those people who's blowing smoke out his own ass about something he doesn't really understand.
Like a certain someone we know?
I didn't really say that to get into that, but yeah, basically.
Oh my god, so many shots are being fired.
You made that too easy. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, so the Steam machine, like, I really do hope that they repackage it and they make it more popular because I think PC gaming is great and all, but I also think that PC gaming is not accessible enough. But especially, like, it's accessible in the sense that, like, a lot of people enjoy it, but it's inaccessible in the sense that, like, if I want to get into PC gaming, because there's a lot of games that are on PC that I don't have the money. Or there's a lot of games on PC that are only on PC. Like, FTL Faster Than Light, that's only on PC.
Right.
And, like, Crusader Kings 2, like, a lot of strategy games only on PC.
Right.
Like, a lot of visual novels only on PC. Like, VNs aren't very intensive, but... So, all of this stuff is, like, PC exclusive, but... So I'd at least like the option to like have a machine that can run most stuff.
This is definitely going to escalate the whole PC Master Race bullshit, too. I can see that coming
That's
now.
the only reason why I haven't really made a PC yet, despite having the money these past couple of months, is because I don't like the toxicity of people who play on PC.
No, I don't either. That's why I stick to my consoles with a little bit here and there of PC gaming.
The only time I would play PC gaming is if I can't get it on a console. Or if there's really good mods for it. Like, if I was going to go out and buy, like, the Elder Scrolls 4, man, there's some good fucking mods for Oblivion. Like, I would buy it on PC, for example. But for the most part, like, I would just rather play it on console.
Well, let's just hope that everything goes good with Valve, and Half-Life 3 may happen someday. That being said, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, Twitch and YouTube. Follow Black Sakura on Facebook. Follow the voice actress Erin Fitzgerald on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. As well as check out jotaku.net, where we release occasional articles on their website about gaming, manga, anime, etc. Everything you need is in the description box down below. And with that being said, you got some final thoughts for episode 10?
The Smash announcement was hype as fuck. Final Fantasy VII Remake better be good, because I will sell my firstborn child to Satan for that game to be good.
What firstborn child?
Exactly, that's the point. That's the joke. And oh my god, there was one other thing that I wanted to mention. It was kind of the... Oh yeah, also, those YouTubers who sold their clips to Trump,
They
like
go
the thing we discussed yesterday.
themselves.
Man, those people are fucking sellouts. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
And as my closing thoughts, Sean, you're going to get your ass kicked. And that's
Oh
the
my
bottom
God.
line, because I fucking said so. With that being said, folks, thanks for watching this episode of the Game Corner Podcast. We are now officially 10 episodes in, and we are not going to be stopping anytime soon. So until next time, my name is DeRose, and for Cypher and our friend Sean, who joined us for part 1, we'll catch your ass down the road.